What's up, guys? Back again with another voiceover on this amazing push day. Man, where am I? Oh, I'm still setting up the camera. Love this chest press machine because it angles really side out when you go down, and then when you're coming up, it does mimic somewhat of a fly. And I did one set of 10 with 145 on each side. Then I did a second set of 8 with 245s on each side, and then this one is just a straight till failure set with 345s on each side. It gets pretty difficult, and at the bottom you could see the legs of the machine. At the bottom there's a 25-pound plate I put there to level it up, because if you let it go all the way down, there's so much depth in it where it will actually it'll feel like my pec is going to tear because it's so deep. In an incline chest press machine, I love these just because I'm able to go extremely slow throughout the movement. And ideally, I try to tell people to get a really wide grip as much as you can on these for the eccentric stretch when you're doing it. If I'm showing people how to do this workout, or like even with athletes, the commonality of what I see, the reason why they're not getting enough depth into the movement is because they grab the grips. For some reason, I don't know why, but they grab the grips as close together as they possibly can. And you kind of start, like, if you're doing that, you kind of start using a lot of tricep instead of grabbing wider and using your chest to bridge through it. And then before I did this set, this is like always my last and final set of every chest movement I ever do. I did 2 sets of, where's my phone going off? I did 2 sets of a regular cable chest press, but this one is my absolute favorite. I see a lot of people get so angry about optimal cable work when it comes to your pectoral region. And what blows my mind is, like, again, you guys hear me say in every video how I'm 6 foot and I have to adopt a lot of different methods for me to feel things. In this, I'm going to say people just don't do this correctly to where they benefit from it. And you have the optimal dudes and their talk and everything, but they're not really, they don't have a 6 foot wingspan. And I say the optimal guys like on TikTok and stuff like that because all these dudes are pretty short, from what I've seen. And I've never seen anybody like over 5'10" give phenomenal training methodologies or how to correctly apply applications for cable work or pressing work, because you have such a long distance to travel. And in this movement, I'm not going up with my delts. Like, as soon as you pass your pec region and you go up, now you're involving your front delts. If you just stay low and focus on the eccentric stretch where it's lengthening the muscle, you're going to get a lot out of it. I've done this style of cable work for years, and it's made my chest such a dominant force on my physique. Now, I did do a tricep cable push down. I did about 3 sets before I went in and did this. I just wanted to get my elbows just feeling a little bit better, because skull crushers can be severely demanding on your elbow. And this is a superset that I really enjoy doing. It's your traditional skull crusher. And then as soon as you're done with that, you're going to go into a JM press. And a JM press is going to absolutely annihilate your triceps like no other. Yeah, so you could call it a closed grip press if you want. Ideally, when you're coming down with it, let's say your knuckles. You want your knuckles going right between your chest and your neck. You can move it around a little bit and just see what feels better for you. You may see me move it closer to my neck or closer to my chest, just trying to get a tougher feel for it and then go till failure with it. But those are going to destroy your triceps. Just doing like a 3 by 5. So I did like 5, and then I did the JM press until failure, and you are going to feel it after. Now let's get into the posing that everybody hates or likes. I don't know. From last week's, not last week, I did a binge video last week. From the 2 weeks ago, I was around 218. I've dropped to 214. Literally woke up at 214 this morning, and you could kind of see it a little bit better in my midsection. I don't look as watery or as bloated, and my camera went out of lens. I noticed it. I was like, I went back and I looked at it, and I was like, mother, father, why is it focusing on the background? Massive chest pump. Dude, there's nothing better than a chest pump. I would make the argument. I'm not going to say I don't like having arm pumps, but I'm going to say arm pumps are mid tier when it comes to having a chest pump. Even a back pump's really good. But then you become like self-conscious about invisible lat syndrome, and then you don't want to walk around the gym feeling like a douchebag, like you're inflating yourself more than you really are, but the pump feels just amazing. Back's looking better. Working on those love handles. Not next week, but the following week is when I'm going to go get biochemical markers, labs, going to make sure kidney, liver, cholesterol, prolactin, estrogen, testosterone. I'm going to make sure everything is dialed in correctly. There's nothing alarming going on. That way we could really ramp up prep. We still have another week of a deload where I'm just kind of taking it easy on the weights with everything. And we're really going to jump into prep. Ideally, I think we're looking at 3 shows to knock out in all of October, which is going to be pretty interesting. I've never done 3 shows back to back to back. And if I'm able to win the overall first show, I'm not going to compete in the other ones. I'm not going to do that to myself. I'd rather, if I do really good in an overall and take the overall, I'm shutting it down and just going to go to nationals. There is the Texas Nationals. That's in December. I mean, we'll see how it goes. It really just depends on my physique and how conditioned I'm able to get. I'll be sized up enough. I'm a pretty big dude, but just like I've said before, conditioning is such a weak point for me, and being able to nail that down and dial it in will be super beneficial. But this was my push day. I think next week I'm going to do, if I could cycle my workouts correctly, next week I'm going to have to do a ham and glutes day, since those are separated because all of my back shots are terrible. That's another one I'll be uploading after this video. So until then, I'll catch you guys in the next one.